Now that I'm 48, I like myself much more than I did when I was in my 20s. Once you get in your mid-age, your soul starts knocking. And then you realize, okay, do I really live the life which I'm meant to live?
End of summer, early autumn is the perfect time to talk about midlife, which, from a spiritual point of view, is a crossroad in life, a crucial time. I am 48 and I go through this phase. In this video, I will uncover the spiritual dimension of aging, the hidden gem. So let's go. I chose Greece as a setting for this video because with its natural coastlines, its ancient sites, and its relaxed way of living, this country reminds me of something important. The connection with my soul, classic beauty, and the vital embodiment of my inner being. The ancient Greeks knew the concept of kairos, sacred time. For me, this means living according to my inner rhythm, my being, my intuition. When I connect with the sacred, I find wisdom about things, about life and aging, our human biography. Let me explain this. When we are young, we are very much driven by the forces of nature. Once we come in our 30s, 40s, 50s, our natural power declines. But from a spiritual point of view, there is a huge opportunity in aging. During midlife, spirits divide, which means it will become visible if you have a spiritual connection or not. Once we hit midlife, we get the opportunity to be driven more and more by the spirit. When you live according to your soul, guided by your inner light, you are not getting old, you ripe. Your personality unfolds and your spirit starts shining through. It's visible in your appearance, how you carry yourself, how you talk and walk. My soul keeps me young. But how does this soul connection work? Let's talk about mystical states.
Spiritual life keeps you young and radiant. For most people, this means slowing down, looking inside, getting in contact with your inner world, getting in contact with soul space, and getting in contact with inner visions, with your subconscious material. There are many words for this, and some people use different words. It's okay. Most of the time, I use the word soul space because for me, it's a very spatial and bodily experience. I get into a trance state, a light trance state, and I sink into my inner being, and a world opens up, and I receive visions, and it's a bit like dreaming. It's a bit like daydreaming. And it's this very open and receiving and passive state of mind. It's not actively searching for something, not actively thinking something, not doing something, not talking. So for me, it's also a non-verbal state of mind. And the symbol of this video is a tarot card, the Hermit. I will talk about this card later. It's the symbol of this video, and usually I have it next to myself the whole video, but this time I couldn't find anything where I could put it because I'm in Greece now. I don't have my own things here, and the lighting was quite good at this place, and I'm sitting on I show you, I'm sitting here and I couldn't really get something to fix this so that it's standing next to me. This card will be the card of this video, and I will talk about it later. It's in fact this looking inside. It's a dream-like state, and it's a very intuitive state. You work with your subconscious material. It's similar like the material you come across in your dreams, but it's more than this. It's not only the psyche, it transcends the psyche. It's also connecting with the transcendent. It's a mystical state, and mystics have always known this through centuries. This is the state where mystics received their holy visions.
This does not mean that I only focus on spirituality and don't care about material things. Traveling through Greece reminds me of something. Being connected with soul space also means being deeply connected with my body, valuing my body, nature, health, beauty, and aesthetics is something sacred. The material world is a reflection of mind. It's soul crystallized on earth.
There is nothing shallow about wanting to look good, also in a physical way, and wanting to have a body which is in shape. You can be in alignment with your soul and do sports and eat healthy and even do Botox. Because especially in Germany and also in Austria, I often stumble across a certain puritanical attitude, narrow-mindedness and hypocrisy about subjects like beauty, health, don't wear makeup and only use products which are made of plants, things like this. And only if you do this, then you're considered a spiritual person. This is not true. It's just a certain social code. My personal opinion is that the best thing is when things are balanced, when the outside and the inside is balanced, and you can do many things. You can do sports, you can use high-tech medicine, you can even have a facelift, and at the same time be a spiritual person, be connected with soul space, do what feels good for you and what you like.
When we are oriented too much on the external world, society, or the subculture we live in, it may happen that we neglect both our body and our soul. This is why people can slide into a midlife crisis. They find that their outside-driven life doesn't fulfill them, that they're not in alignment with their inner being, their true wishes. Working too much, listening to what the neighbors think, missing out on fulfilling relationships, meaningful experiences, deep conversations. I understand this. I've gone through this crisis earlier in my life. I had a quarter-life crisis.
Midlife crisis, it often occurs because people are not in alignment with their inner being. They're not in alignment with their soul and their true wishes. Once you get in your mid-age, your soul starts knocking. And then you realize, okay, do I really live the life which I'm meant to live? And some people realize this in their mid-age and therefore they have a midlife crisis. I don't need to get a midlife crisis because I had a quarter-life crisis. For me, it was very difficult in my 20s, in my mid-20s, to adapt to the corporate world and to adapt to society. I couldn't live this extroverted doing life. I needed much time to look inside, to be in my own rhythm, to connect with my dreams and visions. And yeah, so this was a problem for me because I was ambitious and I wanted to be successful. I couldn't stay in these corporate jobs because I couldn't be in an office the whole day. I couldn't be extroverted the whole day, talking the whole day, organizing the whole day, being active and efficient the whole day. I needed much more time to just be and connect with soul space. And this is not because I thought, oh, I want to become a mystic and not a manager. No, I wanted to become a manager when I was in my mid 20s, but I couldn't. And I had a quarter life crisis and my self image collapsed. So at this time, I started to focus more on my inner life and I started to value my inner life. I started to read books from Paulo Coelho. I started to take yoga classes. I started to visit spiritual groups. I started to educate myself and become educated in theology, in psychology, and in different spiritual techniques because I realized that this is much more my direction. I allowed myself to live a spiritual life, even though I didn't call it spiritual life at this stage, at this point of my life, at this age, I just did it. I just followed the necessity of my inner being. And if I hadn't followed this, my life would have become very unhappy. And yeah, most likely I would have become sick.
When you experience a meaning crisis, no matter at which point of your life, I have good news. This can be the beginning of your individuation process, becoming more and more yourself, having a life which is more and more fulfilling and true to your soul. But this may also mean facing your shadows. Here in Greece, at the south of the Peloponnes, on the so-called Mani, I visited the death oracle, dedicated to the god Poseidon, the god of the ocean. The ancient Greeks also believed that in this area there is the gateway to the underworld, Hades. People come here to seek guidance and prophecy because death can teach us a lesson about the meaning of life. When we get a glimpse on death, we realize how short a life is, and that we should better not waste time on meaningless things. Death is connected with the element water. Letting go of things which don't belong to us, embracing new things we want to invite in our life. This might be habits, but also vital parts of our personality we are used to suppress. This might be desires for power, sexuality, or it might be our sensitivity, passiveness, femininity, secret wishes to embody a certain trait. It can be everything we or our peer group society regards as dark or not valuable. Suppressing those vital parts of ourselves costs a lot of energy. When we face our shadows, when we embrace them in a positive way, our conscious and unconscious integrate. It's a transformation process, and at some point, especially around midlife, we start to embody a new version of ourselves. Our soul, our true self, starts shining through. I am 48, and I know and love myself more than I did in my younger years. I gained consciousness and wisdom about myself. And I learned to express my inner being.
I feel in a way more attractive now with 48 than I felt in my mid-20s. My personality was quite blurry. I also didn't really know which clothing suits me, and I didn't know what words to use, how to carry myself, all those things, because I was very focused on my inside. I didn't know yet how to embody it and to express it into the world. And now that I'm 48, I like myself much more than I did when I was in my 20s. Of course, there are some things like some wrinkles. I gained 3 or 4 kilos. Things like this I don't like so much, but I gained so much more. I think that my personality has a much sharper form now. I know who I am and I know what I want. And I can express myself in a way which correlates to my inner being. And this I couldn't do when I was younger because I only lived in this inside world. And when I lived in the outside world, I used ways to express myself which were common, which society told me, but they didn't really express my true being. And now that I'm older, I feel much more aligned with my personality, not only with my soul, but also with my personality, with my ego. And this is something good.
With soul connection, there comes another valuable trait: spiritual resilience. Those pagan sanctuaries and Byzantine churches here in Greece remind me of my inner soul space, the transcendent. When I dive into my inner sanctuary, I find wonder, the enchanting. At this place, which is close to my subconscious, I receive visions, inspiration. For my videos, I consciously choose a certain aesthetic which reflects my inner dimension, how I see the world with my introverted intuition, not how it looks like in urban, modern, everyday life. This is an expression of my spiritual resilience, which means in good times and in bad times, in my everyday life, I can rely on my inner world, which gives me comfort and meaning. An experience I want to share with you. With my videos, I want to give inspiration, beauty, and hope into the world in times which are difficult or confusing for many. Maybe you feel soul-minded. It's all inside us.
I got some raindrops, so I quickly come to the end and I come to this tarot card, the Hermit. It's the card of this video. It symbolizes this looking inside yourself and looking for this inner light. And if you look inside, you can also come across your shadows, the material of your subconscious. And this is symbolized by this three-headed hellhound. There is also a serpent. And those animals symbolize those shadows. And it's about integrating those shadows. It's about embracing your shadows. It's about being full of your rich inner world. And this card correlates with the element earth, and you see those wheat, the wheat. If you get in contact with your inner world and with your inner light, then at some day you can harvest this wheat and you get something out of it. It's harvest time. The hermit is very individualistic because he doesn't look so much into society and what other people tell him and what social codes tell him. He does what his inner world, his inner light tells him. It's finding your inner voice, being in contact with your soul space. Then you can harvest. Then you get something at the end out of it. And it's the wholeness of your personality. You also become spiritually resilient. You have spiritual resilience. When you go through difficult times, you know that you will always find something inside yourself, your inner light, which shows you the way and which gives you hope and comfort. Thank you for listening.
Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. I can taste her on your lips and in your kiss the way you miss. We're on your lips, that is written is the way you miss her. But I can't feel you slowly drifting away. There's nothing I can do about it, single. Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. On your lips that is written is the way you miss. On your lips that I can taste. On your lips that is written is the way you miss. On your lips that I can taste. I can taste. I can taste regret on the tip of your tongue when we kiss. That's how I know you feel bad for the shit you did. You got me thinking that I should just let you go. Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. We're on your lips, that's written is the way you miss. We're on your lips that I can taste. We're on your lips, that's written is the way you miss. We're on your lips that I can taste. Hey, hey. But I can't taste the way you miss. On your lips, that's written is the way you miss. We're on your lips that I can taste. We're on your lips, that's written is the way you miss. We're on your lips that I can taste. Na 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 no. Na 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 hey. Na 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 no. Na 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 I can taste.